11th is sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. 12th is cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. 13th is tan 2 theta is equal to 2 tan theta by 1 minus tan square theta. 14th is 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Let's discuss some easy rules. 15th rule is sin of a plus b sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. 16th is sin of a minus b sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. 17th is cos of a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. 18th is cos of a minus b is cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. 19 is tan of a plus b is tan a plus tan b upon 1 minus tan a tan b. 20 is tan of a minus b is tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a tan b. 21st is sin square theta plus cos square theta raised to power n is equal to 1. 22nd sec square theta minus tan square theta raised to power n is 1. 23rd is cos square theta minus cos square theta raised to power n is equal to 1. So when you want to have sharp problem solving skills, the information which is to be used for problem solving skills must be learnt by you by heart, and retrieve that again and again, practice that again and again, so you become sharp and you will be able to solve your questions effectively, and you will be having sharp problem solving skills. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning everyone. Myself Vishvendra, I am the founder of Optimal Success Strategy. Let's discuss today about speed. So speed is represented by the symbol v. It's a scalar quantity. It has dimensions m0, l2, l1 and SI unit meter per second and CGS unit centimeter per second. Speed can be categorized as average speed and instantaneous speed. Average speed is distance by time and instantaneous speed is magnitude of instantaneous velocity. This is basically called the spider map method, in which we make the points of every variable, every physical quantity that you have studied. The reason for this is that when you solve a question and you have, if you have make notes in form of paragraph, your mind won't be able to retain the desired information, the required information. The benefit of making spider notes is that you learn in steps and in an interconnected way. Our mind works on the basis of association. More are the neural associations, more are the neural connections, better will be your memory. So if you want to have good memory and good problem solving skills, then whatever information you have, store that in your mind in an interrelated way, so that you can retrieve it as and when needed. So let's implement what we have learned in a question. This is the position time graph of a particle moving along x-axis, and we need to find the average speed from the time 0 to 10 seconds. So as I have already told you, whenever you solve a question or a problem, your mind follows certain processes. Just control the processes, synchronize them, and nobody can stop you from having effective problem solving skills. The first part is have a silent mind. The second is have the idea. The third is retrieve information, and fourth is calculation. Any good problem solver is good in problem solving because his mind follows these 4 steps and he has learned to be an expert in the processes. So be an expert in the processes executed by your mind, and you can also have sharp problem solving skills. So let's start with a silent mind. Now let's think about the idea that how to find average speed. For this you need to know the information of average speed. So if you have the systematically information stored over here in terms of points, then your mind will be able to recall that instantly. And if you have read it in terms of paragraphs and statements and heavy notes, then your mind will not be able to read things effectively, to retrieve things effectively. So the entire difference between a successful and unsuccessful student is because of the quality of information that they have and their neural connections. So systematically store information in your mind. So average speed is distance by time. Now just analyze the graph. At t is equal to 0, particle is at origin, and at t is equal to 5, particle is at x is equal to 30. So t is equal to 0, it's at origin, and t is equal to 5, it's at 30. Now at t is equal to 10, particle is at x is equal to 20. So suppose here is x is equal to 20. So certainly this distance is going to be 10. So the total distance traveled is 30 plus 10, which is 40. Total time is 10 seconds. So the average speed is 4 meter per second. In this way, you can also solve questions quickly and solve your problems effectively. So if you want to have sharp problem solving skills and getting selected in your exams, make sure that you learn the process executed by your mind. The first step is a silent mind, second is the idea, third is information, and fourth is calculation. be an expert in these 4 processes and nobody can stop you. Thank you and have a nice day. गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी। ऑप्टिमल सक्सेस ट्रैजेक्टरी की ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज मैं आपसे प्रोजेक्शन ऑफ वेक्टर्स के बारे में बात करूंगा। तो मान लीजिए हमें 2 वेक्टर्स दिए हुए हैं, वेक्टर ए एंड वेक्टर बी, विच आर इंक्लाइंड टू ईच अदर एट एन एंगल ऑफ थीटा। तो इस राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल में आप देख सकते हैं कि अगर ये ए है तो ये साइड ए कोस थीटा होगी और ये वाली साइड ए साइन थीटा होगी। तो वेक्टर ए को मैं एक्सप्रेस कर सकता हूं एज एडिशन ऑफ दिस वेक्टर एंड दिस वेक्टर। तो ये अगर बी वेक्टर है तो इसके अलोंग यूनिट वेक्टर बी कैप होगा। तो मैं इसको लिख सकता हूं ए कोस थीटा इंटू बी कैप और इसे लिख सकते हैं ए साइन थीटा इंटू एन कैप। तो वेक्टर ए को लिखा जा सकता है एज ए कोस थीटा बी कैप प्लस ए साइन थीटा एन कैप। ए कोस थीटा बी कैप को मैं बोल देता हूं ए पैरेलल और इसको मैं बोल देता हूं ए परपेंडिकुलर, जहां पे ए पैरेलल इज प्रोजेक्शन ऑफ ए अलोंग वेक्टर बी। प्रोजेक्शन में वैसे तो कई बार मैग्नीट्यूड भी हम यूज करते हैं, बट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंपोनेंट, द वेक्टर फॉर दैट प्रोजेक्शन। तो मेरा जो डिस्कशन का टॉपिक है वो प्रोजेक्शन एज ए वेक्टर है। तो ए पैरेलल वेक्टर को हम लिख सकते हैं ए कोस थीटा इनटू बी कैप। ए कोस थीटा को वी कैन सिंपलीफाई एज ए डॉट बी अपॉन बी इनटू बी कैप। तो यहां से बी कैप को आप लिख सकते हैं एज वेक्टर बी अपॉन बी। तो ये हो जाएगा ए डॉट बी, बी और बी, बी स्क्वायर इनटू वेक्टर बी। इसको हम इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे क्वेश्चन में। मान लीजिए वेक्टर ए इज 4i कैप माइनस 3j कैप प्लस 2k कैप, वेक्टर बी 2i कैप प्लस j कैप माइनस k कैप। ये इसका डेफिनेशन है। तो ए डॉट बी आप यहां से कैलकुलेट करें, ये 3 आ जाएगा और b का जो मैग्नीट्यूड है ये होगा √6। तो वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करके ए पैरेलल आपका i कैप प्लस j कैप बाय 2 माइनस k कैप बाय 2 है। तो जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है आप वो सिस्टमेटिकली लर्न करें उसको प्लान के तहत, जिससे आप अपने क्वेश्चंस आसानी से कर पाएं। थैंक यू एंड हैव अ नाइस डे। Good morning everybody, myself Vishvendra, I am the founder of Optimal Success Trajectory. Today we shall discuss about the force from momentum time graph. So we need to find force from PT graph. Suppose this is the momentum time graph. We take a point M on the graph and we draw a tangent. Let the tangent makes an angle theta with t axis in anticlockwise and alpha in clockwise sense. Then we know that the force is defined by dp by dt, which is equal to tan theta, which is equal to minus of tan alpha, which is the slope of PT graph, that is slope of momentum time graph. Now for theta, it can be acute, obtuse, 0, 180 or 90 degree. If theta is acute, then tan theta will be positive, that means force will be positive, and positive force means repulsion. If theta is obtuse, that is it lies between pi by 2 to pi radian, then tan theta will be negative, that means force will be negative, and negative force means attraction. If theta is 90 degree, then tan theta will tends to infinity, then force will tends to infinity, which is called impulsive force, which has a very great magnitude. If theta is 0 or 180 degree, then tan theta will be 0 and force will be 0, that means equilibrium position it is called. So let's implement what we have learned in a question. The momentum time graph is given and we need to find force at t is equal to 7 seconds and 12 seconds. So we will follow the steps, silent mind, idea, information and calculations. So let's start with the idea. The idea is that how to find force from PT graph. The information is that f is dp by dt is equal to tan theta. So at t is equal to 7 seconds, it's over here. So at t is equal to 7 seconds, force will be 0 because the tangent is parallel to the t axis, so the angle is 0, so force will be 0. And at t is equal to 12 seconds, let this angle is alpha, so this angle will also be alpha. So at t is equal to 12 seconds, tangent is making an angle alpha with the x-axis, t axis. So we need to find tan alpha. From this triangle, tan alpha will be 10 by 5, which is 2. So in this way you can find the value of force. So you have seen that if you have worked on the 4 processes, if you have worked on yourself, then you will be able to solve questions effectively, and until and unless your mind don't have the quality of good problem solving skills. However information, whatever information, quantity does not matter until and unless you have quality of problem solving skills. So focus on the quality of your mind when you solve a problem. Problems are to be practiced to develop the quality of mind. It is the quality of mind which matters. Work on your quality of mind and you will be successful one day. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning everybody. Myself vishvendra, I am the founder of Optimal Success Trajectory. Today we will discuss about standard product of vectors in terms of angle. So let's suppose that we defined A dot B as AB cos theta. So if theta is a cube, that means it lies between 0 degree to 90 degree. Then cos theta will be positive. Then A dot B will be positive. So if dot product is positive, then you can say that angle between them is acute. The next is if theta is obtuse, that is it lies between 90 to 180, then cos theta will be negative, then A dot B will be negative. That means you can say that if dot product is negative, angle between vectors is obtuse. Third case, if theta is 90, cos theta will be 0. That means A dot B will be 0. So you can say that if dot product of two vectors is 0, they are perpendicular. Next is if theta is 0, then cos theta will be 1 maximum. So A dot B has a maximum value AB when theta is 0. That means vectors are parallel. When theta is 180, that means cos theta is -1. That is, it will be minimum. So dot product is minimum when the vectors are anti-parallel or opposite. Let's see the graph. So graph will be the cosine graph. It will have a maximum value AB at theta is equal to 0, minimum value minus AB at theta is equal to 180, as you can interpret from these relations. So it's very easily to solve your questions by this memory map method. This is called spider map basically, and in this you learn information in an interconnected way, in an effective way, so that you can learn better, you can retain better, and you can perform better. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning everybody. Myself Vishvendra. I am the founder of Optimal Success Trajectory. Today let's discuss about logarithms. So logarithm is an expression like log a to the base b. It is pronounced as log a to the base b. The term which is downward is called as the base. Here the domains for a is that it should be positive and it should not be 1 also. A should not be equal to 1. So in that domain, and b should be positive and not equal to 1. So the meaning of this term is, if I say that log a to the base b is equal to c, that means a is equal to b raised to power c. This is the meaning of this symbol of logarithm. Now let's start with some properties of logarithm function. So the first property is log 1 to any base is 0, given that base is non-zero, not equal to 1, and it is positive. The next is if we have log a to the base b plus log c to the base b, we write it as log ac to the base b. The domains are ac should not be 1 and ac should be positive, b must not be 0 and 1. Third is log a to the base b minus log c to the base b. This is log a by c to the base b under the same domains. If we have log a raised to power n to the base b, then this exponent comes out and it can be written as n log a to the base b. We assume that AB is positive. Next is the most important result, which is called as the base change formula. So which is log a to the base b can be written as log a to the base c divided by log b to the base c, under the restriction that these all are positive. B is not equal to 0 or 1, c is also not equal to 0 and 1. Now let's apply what we have learned in these questions. So let's suppose it's given log x to the base 2 is 3. That means x is equals to 2 raised to power 3, which is equal to 8. Another question, log 2 to the base 3 plus log 4 to the base 3. So this can be written as log 8 to the base 3. Another question, log 9 base 3 minus log 2 base 3. So this can be written as log 9 by 2 to the base 3. Next, log 3 raised to power 4 to the base 2. It can be written as 4 log 3 to the base 2. Next is base change formula. So log 10 base e can be written as log 10 base 10 divided by log 10 base e, and this is 1 and this is 1 by log e to the base 10. So these are some of the tricks, some of the properties of logarithm, and these are of use when used in physics questions. So you must learn all these results, because without knowing the informations, it becomes a bit hectic to solve your questions. They find use in certain chapters of physics. So do remember these results, and do remember that whatever you learn, maybe one word, one line, one para, one page or one book, make sure that whatever you learn, you have the capacity to absorb that information. Practice again and again. Practice strengthens your neural networks, your neural circuits, and you are able to retrieve information as and when needed. So it's the question mark on your quality of mind. Develop quality of mind, and nobody can stop you from being successful in today's dynamic world. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning everybody. Myself Vishvendra, the founder of Optimal Success Trajectory. Today I am before you to give you some tricks on integration. Mathematics is always a challenge for NEET students. So I am directly giving you the tricks by which you can solve certain prototype based questions directly without being involved in too much mathematics. So let's start with that. The first result, we all know that x raised to power n dx is x raised to power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c, where n is not equal to minus 1. Now suppose instead of x we are being given ax plus b raised to power n. Result will be the same, except that just divide the expression by coefficient of x. So coefficient of x here is a. So just divide the expression by a. Otherwise the entire result will be same. You can see that ax plus b raised to power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 divided by a plus c. Second trick, we know 1 by x dx is log mod x bc plus c. So if we have 1 upon ax plus b dx, it will remain the same. Just divide the expression by coefficient of x. E raised to power x dx is e raised to power x plus c. So e raised to power ax plus b dx will be e raised to power ax plus b divided by a plus c. Similarly, e raised to power x dx is a raised to power x upon log a bc plus c. So a raised to power bx plus q will be a raised to power bx plus q log a bc divided by b. Sin x has integration minus cos x plus c. So if we have sin of ax plus b dx, the integration would be minus cos of ax plus b divided by a plus c. If we have cos x dx, it is equal to sin x plus c. So if we have cos of ax plus b dx, integration would be sin of ax plus b divided by a plus c. So in this way you can solve your questions quickly by these tricks. Thank you and have a nice day. गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी. ऑप्टिमल सक्सेस ट्रैजेक्टरी के ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है. आज हम एक्सपोनेंशियल के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. तो एक्सपोनेंशियल का मान लीजिए कोई एक्सप्रेशन है a रेज टू पावर b. यहाँ पे a को बेस कहते हैं और b इज कॉल्ड द एक्सपोनेंट. तो दिस इज गिवन एक्सप्रेशन. It has got certain property. The first property is any base raised to power 0 is equal to 1, given that base should not be 0. Second property is 0 raised to power any exponent is 0, given that the exponent itself is not 0. Third property is 0 raised to power 0 is not defined. Fourth property is a raised to power b multiplied by a raised to power c is a raised to power b plus c. So if there are two exponents with the same base, then you just add the exponents. Similarly, if there are two exponents in division with the same base, then exponents have to be subtracted. If we have 1 upon a raised to power b, you just inverse it. A raised to power minus b will be the right expression. And if a raised to power b raised to power c, you just multiply these. So a raised to power bc will be the final result. If nth root of a is to be found, then it's equal to a raised to power 1 by n, given that a is positive. We have taken this approximation because if a is negative, then roots may be complex also. So we are constraining our domains to the set of real numbers only. Let's look for some examples. The first is 0 raised to power 100 is 0, 100 raised to power 0 is 1, 2 raised to power 3 multiplied by 2 raised to power 4 can be written as 2 raised to power 3 plus 4, which is 2 raised to power 7. Now 2 raised to power 4 upon 2 raised to power 3, this can be written as 2 raised to power 4 minus 3, which is 2 raised to power 1, which is 2. 2 raised to power 4 raised to power 2, so this is 2 raised to power 4 multiplied by 2, 2 raised to power 8, which is 256. 1 by 3 raised to power 4, this is 3 raised to power minus 4, this is 9 raised to power half, which is equal to 3.
So whatever you have learned, whatever information you have is written in your notes, make sure it is written in the to the point form, and you have to remember it as it is, because only then you will be able to store it for a longer time and retrieve it as and when needed. The problem with the students today is that they are not capable to store information in their mind for a long time. So when they appear for the exam, they are not able to retrieve that information. They forget what they studied. And because of all that, we started Optimal Success Trajectory with the aspiration to provide customized mind training programs to the students, enabling them to learn the art of problem solving skills and photographic memory. So if you are weak at problem solving skills, you forget your things, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel with the same name, Optimal Success Trajectory. You can also search me on Google with the name Vishvendra or Optimal Success Trajectory, and get benefit of what I have learned during my experiences. Thank you and have a nice day.